What is up, people, and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded anything, but with me not being well, I just haven't been in the garage, to be honest. So I thought I'd do a quick update on how I am. Plodding on, I'm plodding on. Still in a bit of discomfort and pain, but we'll see what the doctors say. So, from Fastest Mini over the weekend, the car is back in the garage. It's all in one piece. Nothing's damaged to look at, should we say. So I thought I'd give you a quick rundown on how we did over the weekend. Hang on, I'm just going to put you on my tripod. Right, so the weekend, car worked really well in the end. Once we figured out what was the matter with it. So it come to qualifying on the Saturday morning, Fastest Mini. Now, I spoke with a few other people that were having a bit of an issue with, I couldn't seem to get the car to do what they wanted. It was very vague. I don't know whether it's because of the heat of the day and the track was hot, and with these cars weighing so little and putting the power down, I struggled to get a decent lap in. I think my best was like a 55.4 or something, which put me in 5th place, which isn't too bad, but I should be in the 54s in this easily. So quality was okay. It was a bit squirmish and a bit hard on the braking, and as you were pulling around a bit. But also the tyres I had on the car, which are now here, they are pretty done. They are worn on the inside to the point where the holes disappeared. I mean, they are old tyres. My sponsor brought those for me for the 2019 Fastest Mini. So they have done well. And they've done some track time. So they've done 2 Fastest Minis, some track time, some qualies. So they did well. But I think they were done. So what I decided to do was, a friend of mine there was just taking 2 off his car, Jim Lyons, but they were slightly wider. They're 8.2s, he's a 9J, and he's at A37s and mine at A15, so mine are soft, and he's more over the medium. So we wedged them on the front, and I think that was a better move, because the car seemed to grip so much better after that. So then we did the all-comers race on the Saturday afternoon. We started off back of the grid 21st because we didn't qualify, because I was only doing one race because it was 100 quid. So I jump on the back of the grid, see what it does against those cars, but mainly was to learn my lines. I needed to practice my lines more because Brands is so far from me. I've only ever been there for Fastest Mini. So I wanted to learn my lines and just see how the car does over a 20-minute race, which was 21 laps or something like that. And the car was fine, to be honest. I let the car down, made a few schoolboy errors, but overall it did pretty well. We was in the 54s. I dossed around at the back at the beginning, just learning my line, getting my car warmed up. Got a little bit bored, so I started knocking people off. Well, not knocking them off, passing them. Had some nice close racing with a bit of a radical, which was really close, like nearly too close. And then I pushed on, started to catch the people in front of me. We were only 55s and I was in the 54s. Then backed off a little bit because I was like, I don't need this race. It's nothing for me. It's just to test the car and learn my line. So I backed off a bit, finished 10th. But I did enjoy it. It was nice having a 20-minute race. Car did fine, apart from my error. I moved over to let one of the leaders through because I didn't want to get in anyone's way. And I probably moved over in one of the worst places, the final bend before the straight. So I moved over slightly and got on the dirt, and all the marbles and crap and the car started to drift out, and I could not stop it moving over. And this back wheel dropped in the dirt and hit the end of the rumble strip. And it hit hard. It hit really hard. And what it actually did, where we didn't find out until the Sunday morning, is it pulled the bolts out the subframe. There's 2 bolts on the end of each subframe that hold the trunnions onto the bolt to the heel board. It ripped the top one out and damaged the bottom one. So basically the back subframe was moving. So if you notice, after I hit that, you'll see it on the video, the car came very unstable. It was very unstable. But my driver error, my fault, so got to hold my hands up to that. So we finished that race, and then it comes fastest mini in the world race on the Sunday morning. Changed, put a new chain on it, done all the tyre pressures, put new guides. Car was looking sweet. Subframe was all tightened up because we found the bolt that was missing. And the end up Owens, from Owens Fabrication, he had a spare bolt for me. Dropped that in there, tracked it all up. Beautiful. Started 5th. I think I lost 2 places on the first couple of corners, because I don't like to push this to its limit straight away. I'd normally try and give it a lap or 2. I don't mind losing a few places at the beginning, because this car's never going to win fastest mini because it just hasn't got the pace. It's too heavy and the engine's too small. So I hold back a little bit on the first lap or so. So I lost a couple of places straight away. And once the car started to get up to temperature, I started to push forward, started to make movements, started to overtake. I got into the 53s, personal best for me, 53.6, maybe 53.6, 53.7. And I was on a roll. I was getting quicker. This car felt on point. It loads of grip, back end was retracked, really nice. And then I had a noise which sounded like the chain slipping on the sprocket, but I knew it's a brand new chain. And I thought, oh, my gearbox on the way out again. But no, it's a brand new gearbox. It's not going to be the gearbox because it's in every gear. I thought, oh, I wonder if the drive shaft's on its way out, because these are old shafts now. And it sounded a bit like the teeth, the splines, where they go into the inner and outer CV, slipping. I thought it could be a drive shaft. It must be a drive shaft slipping. So I started to drop back dramatically, because if I accelerated hard, it was jumping. It was and the car was physically shaking. And you'll hear it in the video. It was nasty. So I had to start slowing down, which is not where you want to be when you've just started to overtake. And I think I was up into 4th, and then I was like, well, I got back into 5th. Did I get up to 4th? I can't remember. No, I was thinking I got to 5th, and then I had to start letting everyone back past. So I just started moving over, waving people on. I knew the car would make it to the end of the race. I just knew it wouldn't make it under full power. So I just plodded along, got out of people's way, kept myself to myself, made it to the end of the race. So when I finished was about 11th, pretty low down. But considering this is, out of all the cars on the grid, this is the 5th slowest car speed-wise. When you look on the timesheets, I was like the 5th slowest car. But then I was also at like the 5th fastest lap time. So she doesn't do bad for a slow girl. She corners really well. So we got it back to the pits, and then we started looking at it, and we realised the diff's knackered. That diff's been in there, to my knowledge, 6 years, because that's how long I've had the car, and I've never had it serviced. So I think the diff is kaput, because it's a Quaife ATB, which technically, when it's jacked up, you should spin the one wheel forward and the other one goes forward. And to break traction, you need to hold the one wheel with a bit of force and then put some force on it to get the diff to slip. That ain't happening. You can spin them freely, and I can physically hold the diff and spin the wheels. So we had a diff failure. It could have probably have made it round race 2, but it would have just been in a dangerous situation. So I decided I'm not going to enter race 2. I don't want to be the cause of anyone's incident. So that was the end of our racing for the weekend. Yes, I won a trophy for first in class, but it's a bit of a bonus, but considering I finished the first race under half throttle and I was the only one in my class because the other car didn't enter, and then neither of us entered the second race, so it's basically a cup for a cup. But apart from that, the car did well. The exhaust fans worked well, even though we were like 29, 30 degrees over the weekend. It was a hot weekend. But the car worked well, brakes worked well, steering's well. As long as you don't start knocking your wheels off anything. But yeah, she did well. I just need to order a new diff. But for now, it's just going to sit here because I need to finish the Z car. The owner's just been down. He hasn't seen the car since I had it down to the frame, and he's over the moon with how the car's doing. I just need to finish it now, and we've said about 5 weeks. 4 to 5 weeks, because that's when he comes back on land, because he works offshore. So easily that should be done by then. So there's going to be some more videos on that. As I said, I'm going to start uploading the videos of this on track. And if any of you watched it live, you'd have saw that the car did well. Me, not so much. Driver error, really I need to drive more. I don't drive this car enough. But for the likes of this car to hang with the big boys, she's too heavy and she's too slow. When you got the likes of the Billinghams coming back stronger and stronger every year, you know, I think Richard Billingham's going to be all over Deeds next year. So there might be another name on that big trophy next year, and it ain't going to be mine because my little girl's too fat and she's too slow. But anyway, I thought I'd just let you know that's where we are. The car needs a diff, and we're going to get back onto the Z car. I help my else. It's not quite ready, but I am better. As you can see, I'm better. And if you came and saw me over the weekend, thanks very much. If I wasn't there, I was probably running around trying to get stuff. And I'm sorry I missed you. But thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy my qualifying and the 2 races. I might do a bit of voiceover if I can work out how to do it. Just so prepare yourself for when I make a twat of myself. Right then. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.